it lasted like 2 weeks. I was like, I'm going to get him a tank.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a nice tank, and I kept care of him, and it was just sad. I don't know. I'd never had a goldfish before, and...
Did you not grow up with other pets? You didn't have like a dog or anything?
Yeah, but I never had a goldfish.
You love a dog more.
Yeah, well, here's the really embarrassing part, is I started writing poetry about his death, and that's...
Oh my god.
That's not a joke. That's not a joke. That's a real thing that really happened. I shared it with one of my friends, and they were like, this is fucking so lame,
That's
dude.
crazy. I've never heard any kind of shit like that.
I'm very... Yeah, it's totally true. That's the thing. I'm not, like, making this up for laughs. This is a completely 100% true story.
Could you find that poetry?
If I can, I will absolutely share it with our listeners
that would
and
be
you.
Ridiculous.
I would absolutely do that. I know it was on my phone. It was like in a notes thing, so I didn't have iCloud back then. So, but
holy shit.
Yeah. If I do some like really deep meditation and I remember what I wrote, I'll share with
Have
you
you
all.
ever loved anything more than that goldfish?
I love my cat. Honey Boo Boo.
What about a person? Honey Boo Boo.
Did you not know that's my cat's
No,
name?
I did not know that.
No, dude, my cat's name is Honey Boo Boo. Because she's fat and stupid.
Oh my god. I don't know if you can say that. That's a direct attack on a person.
I was like... I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. It was a joke. It's for comedy. Honey Boo Boo's great. She's doing good things.
Is she?
She likes sketty.
Oh my god.
Some butter and ketchup with noodles. That is straight up what she eats. I used to watch that show. Then it got canceled because they found out that her stepdad was a rapist.
Oh, I didn't know
That's
that.
true. That's true.
Woo.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy shit. Wow, that's a weird tangent. Okay, we're
Yikes.
talking about love. You
I don't know how to come back from that one.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I don't know. I'm sorry.
We're talking about love.
Mm-hmm.
And the goods and the bads.
Spoiler alert for Honey Boo Boo, by the way. Sorry, guys, if you don't know that it got canned.
Is that a new thing?
No, it happened like 6 years ago.
I was like, what? That hasn't been around for a long time. We're talking about love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ever been in love?
I think so.
What does that mean?
Because I think that... This is going to sound super philosophical. But I think that love is an evolution. And I think love is a choice. And you choose to love someone through their shit. And you hope that they love you through your shit. And so I think it's a constant evolution as you grow as a person. To continue to choose to love someone as they grow and struggle with life. Sorry, I know that's super philosophical.
That was a lot.
But, so I say, I think I've been in love because I definitely did that with a few people.
Mm-hmm.
Really cared about them. But then whatever happened to where I couldn't continue to choose that action. I think love is a choice and not a feeling.
What do you think happened there to like where you, because you said you couldn't continue to make that choice?
Well, I think that listen to episode 3.
Shout out. That's a good one. That's a really good episode.
Yeah, that's a really good episode. That relationship, and I think I've talked about it since then.
Mm-hmm.
Where me and that ex have actually kind of gotten on really good terms lately, and I wouldn't call her a friend. You know, we don't
strong acquaintance, maybe.
But I mean, somebody who like I would genuinely be excited to see her if I saw her, and I would say, hey, how, you know what I mean, like.
I think when you said like, because it came up earlier today, it's just like you guys are cordial now, which I think is like, that's a good way to explain it.
Yeah, it's like we're cordial.
There's not like a relationship there, by any means, but
no, it
used to be much worse.
Yeah, she's in LA, and she sent me a picture of Tarantino's hands in the cement near the Chinese theater, and I thought that was cool. That was a cool thing.
Thinking of you, babe.
Yeah. What was your question though? Because you said why or something. One of those lines. Did you stop or whatever? Yeah,
I was just asking what happens in a relationship like that where you're like, I can't choose this anymore.
I think for one, I think if it is damaging to your being, if the relation, I don't really like this term because I feel like it's overused lately, but in a genuine sense, if it's toxic and it's not healthy, then you gotta cut that off. And I think for me personally, you have to be really, really careful with marriage, because I think marriage is one of the only things sacred in this world anymore, and unfortunately it's also not sacred now because of how often that people are, getting divorced. Which, by the way, I recently found out the 50%
is not true.
It's not true, but because divorce rates are going down. Anyways, that's
you want to know the math behind that, like how they come up with 50%.
Please, I would love.
So basically, what they're saying is, so for 2018, let's say they say it's 50%. The way they're doing it is they're taking the amount of marriages that happened in 2018 and the amount of divorces that happened in 2018, and that's how the math is coming up. They're not accounting for like
how many people are married.
Yes, it's only married in that year.
Yeah.
And not like these marriages have been going on for 50 years and they're doing fine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I still, though, I think that I think that sometimes people don't view marriage as this like really cool thing. I just think it is. And so for me, I think it's really important, not that I'm married, but I would like to be.
But you want to be. I think that's the dream.
And I think that for me, it's about that, like, that is the ultimate, like, I will not stop.
Well, how do you know?
I think at that point it's just it's that like decision, it's that turning on in your
just
brain.
Saying no matter what, I will figure out a way. Does that speak for, like, let's say that the marriage gets toxic and like it's really damaging for both of you, and like maybe even like the people around you and stuff, like is there I guess what I'm trying to ask is like,
do I think there's a situation
where you can say this is the best choice and like it's understandable and okay to do this?
Here's what I'll say, and I've mentioned this on the show before too. I do come from a framework of Christianity of that understanding. In the Bible, it talks about how the only way that like a divorce or separation would work is if somebody cheated.
Yeah,
that's just that, and I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree. I'm just throwing that out there. That for me is a really tough one, because I would like to believe that I could work through that with that person and say, hey, I still love you. You made a mistake. We all make mistakes. This one happens to hurt worse for me than like speeding or something. I know, you know what I mean? Like, in the grand scheme of things, if one thing is wrong, everything is equally as wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that point, I would just be like, if it was really toxic and it was really bad for both parties and people around, I would say, is there any point of salvation in it at all? And if the framework is no, there's no point in salvation of it, then I think you gotta, chop the head off of the chicken. But if there is some redeeming, some salvatory thing, I think you just say, you know what, I care about you, I cared about you, I want to work through this because I care about you as a person, and I'm choosing to try to work through this, even though I'm being stubborn as well, and you're being stubborn. That's just my take on it.
That's an interesting point. I want to go back to the cheating thing real quick, because that's something right now that is, I feel like for the last little bit, maybe it's just because we've just gotten to this point of life where it's like, we could be with someone that we end up with. Like, who we are with could be the last person that we date.
Yeah, yeah.
But it seems like recently that a lot of like relationship culture has been like, if they cheat, it's over, no matter what. Like, there's like, don't even try to come back from it. Don't try and fix a relationship or anything. Cut them off and get out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know how. I don't think I entirely agree with that. You know, like,
yeah. I think it just. I mean, because I think it is the ultimate betrayal. You know, like you if you're telling someone that you care about them and only them, and then you're off with someone, that sucks. It's a shitty thing to feel.
It sucks, and you're going to be devastated. It's going to hurt a lot. But
but I think,
does that necessarily mean that you can't bounce back?
I believe that you can, because I know of a lot of like married couples that really do have good relationships, but very early or not in the past 10 years, that happened with one of the parties. And I think that you can come back from it when you just say, hey, I love you. I don't love the choice that you made because it hurt me and it hurt those around us. But I love you, and if you're still willing, and if you're sorry, I think that is the,
like, you're sorry, and I have to
final,
know that, like, that shit is not going to happen again, ever.
Yeah,
but like, I don't. that doesn't compute in my brain of like how. I don't think that that's something that you can feel and know like right at the beginning. You know, because the whole like you have to rebuild trust, and that shit takes so long. But it's like I don't know. Some people are like willing to be like, yeah, okay, we'll stick it out and we'll see if it can happen. Yeah,
I think everyone would like to be that way, but it just depends. I don't want to say that I got cheated on in high school because I don't know 100%. I just know that the girlfriend that broke up with me via text message was with someone within the next week. I remember.
We've talked about that.
Yeah, was with someone within the next week, and that hurt because there was a lot of questions. But I mean, with that situation, there's nothing to be done because it was boyfriend girlfriend. It wasn't, you know, you weren't married or anything, and the conversation on her end was just no, we're done, and there's no conversation from here on out. So, yeah, that sucked. I'll say that. I mean, that's the tiniest way I can speak to it. But, I mean, you know, love is love, man.
Something like that. Love is something.
Yeah, love is something.
And we all trying to find it, and none of us fucking know how to do that.
I think it's one of those things. Like I said, for me, I think it's just a choice. That's all it is.
I mean, I agree with that for sure, but I don't know. I mean, like, you can't make that choice. Like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's like, there's
so many factors into it.
You can't just be like, all right, I love you.
Yeah. I love you.
And it's such a strange world to kind of try and navigate and figure out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in the context of because we're framing the conversation with like relationships, but I love you. I'm not trying to get super sappy.
Pretty all right, man.
But I love you, and I think that that's something to analyze when the conversation is love. We're just talking about relationships, or are we talking about romantic?
I think just in general. I mean, like the go-to is of course like romantic love. Because
especially on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Take your girl or guy out to a nice restaurant. Get them some flowers.
Some chocolate.
And kiss them. Tell them they're pretty. And if you don't
push
have
their hair behind their ear.
If you don't have somebody, fucking do that to yourself. That's what I'll be doing on Valentine's Day. I'm thinking I'm gonna tackle a bottle of wine.
Ooh,
for myself.
A nice red.
Ooh, maybe. You know I'm a white.
I know. Yeah, I know.
You know I'm a white.
But on Valentine's Day,
it has to be red.
We have still done it. I'm very proud of us. It's just Valentine's. It's a red wine kind of satiation.
I think you're
it's
right.
Exclusively. For me, it's a red situation.
Okay, so let me pose a question here.
Sure.
Because we've said romantic love is a choice. Do you think that like friendship love is the same choice?
I do, but I think there's less stakes to it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think there are less stakes. Like the stakes aren't as high.
I think I get what you're saying.
It's Fast and Furious, but then. That's just like bro love, Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious 7 is relationship love because the stakes are higher in Fast and Furious 7.
Oh my god.
That's for me what I think.
Oh my god. I don't even know how to speak to that.
It's a great analogy, I think.
I mean, I'm mad that I get it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm mad that it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird because it's strange because I feel like romantically I am more inclined to like get there quicker than with like people.
Just in
just like a like platonic way.
Yeah. Well, I think that it's that old adage where people are always like blood is thicker than water, and that's like not really. Like friends, I think, are in some sense more important than family.
I agree with that 100%.
Because you pick them.
Yeah.
Not that family is important. That's not me knocking the nuclear family in America. Because that's a great system. White picket fences, American flags, and football.
Oh, yeah, white people.
So what I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to say is that I think that to me kind of makes sense because for me with my friends, I want my friends that are in my life right now to be in my life for a long, long time. I don't know if I want to still hang around you when we're 60.
I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to